Hello, guys. Welcome back to a wrap. Something powerful just happened in New York City. Hours after Zohran Mamdani took the stage with his fist in the air, declaring that it was time for a new kind of leadership, the city felt the tremor. Because this wasn't a typical victory speech. It was a promise. A promise to rebuild New York from the ground up, to make it fairer, more inclusive, and more humane. While many politicians talk about change, Mamdani acted like he meant it. He didn't speak in vague slogans. He named the problems directly. Skyrocketing rents, growing inequality, and a system that for too long has worked for the wealthy few instead of the working majority. He called for rent freezes, free public transport, and stronger unions. Policies aimed not at punishing success, but at making sure opportunity is shared, not hoarded. For years, small business owners, tenants, and essential workers have carried the city through crisis after crisis, and Mamdani's message was simple. It's their turn to breathe. Critics claim his ideas are too radical, but history reminds us that every social safety net we now take for granted, from public schools to minimum wage, was once labeled radical, too. Change always feels uncomfortable before it becomes common sense. Already, his plans have sparked real conversations across boardrooms, newsrooms, and households. Some big investors may be hesitating, but local communities are feeling heard for the first time in years. Grassroots organizations are mobilizing, city workers are hopeful, and young people, often disillusioned by politics, are paying attention again. And maybe that's the real revolution, getting people to care about their city again. Now, yes, reforms like free buses and rent freezes come with challenges. But Mamdani's administration insists that every initiative will be carefully structured, balancing social progress with fiscal responsibility. The goal isn't to bankrupt New York, it's to rebuild it on stronger, fairer foundations. When he says, "We will hold bad landlords accountable," he's not attacking entrepreneurship, he's defending fairness. When he calls out corporate greed, he's not rejecting business, he's rejecting exploitation. That distinction matters, because for decades, New York's wealth has grown, but not evenly. The rich got richer while the working class struggled to stay afloat. Mamdani's policies, whether people agree with them or not, are an attempt to rewrite that imbalance. Not with words, but with action. And while critics are warning of businesses fleeing, others point to cities like Copenhagen or Toronto, proof that social investment and economic strength can coexist. When people can afford to live where they work, when public transport is accessible, and when communities aren't crushed by rent, productivity, creativity, and civic pride actually rise. Faith leaders, union organizers, and small entrepreneurs are beginning to form an unlikely alliance, recognizing that compassion and commerce don't have to be enemies. They can build each other up. So yes, this is a bold new chapter for New York. One that may test old systems, but also one that could inspire cities across America to rethink what progress really means. Because Mamdani didn't just give a speech, he sparked a movement. One that says fairness isn't free, but it's worth fighting for. So whether you agree or disagree, one thing is certain. New York just became the testing ground for a new economic vision. One that puts people before profit and community before convenience. And the world is watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, because this is more than politics. This is the story of how one city dares to dream differently.